Hello and welcome back to my playthrough of Pokemon Complex Crystal. I say playthrough, of course I mean Psychic Monotype. In the last episode, we made our way to the Elite Four, and in the meantime, in between, I have done some serious grinding. As you can see, everyone has reached level 60. I figured we would need some buffering on our levels in order to make sure that we can cope. I also decided to go into this store and buy some much needed revives. We didn't have any, and I thought, you know what, we should probably get some. Got some Hyper Potions. Hyper Potions were cheaper than everything else, just because obviously none of my Pokemon actually have more than 200 health. So it makes a lot more sense to run Hyper Potions than anything. Now, we're going to run Jinx first. As we head into our first battle with Will of the Elite Four. Just because I think Will starts off in the first games with a Xatu, and I reckon they might well keep Xatu in. Obviously, with Psychic types, we should hopefully have an advantage. Hopefully, but obviously they will have a level advantage on us. So we shall see. As you can see, nothing much has changed in terms of moves. Jinx could have learned Blizzard, but I decided to keep with Ice Punch just because of that reliable hit. So again, Confusion Potion on mean look Ice Punch. Alakazam has Reflect, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Psychic. Yeah, nothing's changed. So Girafarig, Shadow Ball, Crunch, Strength, Earthquake. Espeon has Morning Sun, Hidden Power, Bite, and Psychic. And Starmie has Swift, Light Screen, Surf, and Recover. Whilst Xatu has Fly, Sunny Day, Light, Nightshade, and Solar Beam. So we're going to kick off this Elite Four episode with a battle with Will. So we're going to zip through all this and see what his first Pokemon is. Have we predicted him well? So, bingo! He sends out his Xatu. Awesome. So, we have obviously got a huge type advantage here. I would hope Ice Punch would be a one-hit KO. We can hope as we watch that health bar deplete. Boom! Okay, so, we even get a crit just to rub it in. So, we nail down the Xatu. Next Pokemon is an Espeon. Okay, so we're going to go into Girafarig, I think. Obviously because we have Shadow Ball on our Girafarig, which should do an awful lot to this Espeon. Goes for the Confuse Ray. That's annoying, so hopefully we can cut through. Come on, Girafarig, I believe in you. That's terrible. Now it goes for the Psychic. That's going to hurt. Okay, it's not too bad actually. That does less than, well, it's about 50-ish, I think. Okay, but obviously, unless we stop hitting ourselves in confusion, this is not going to end well for us. And our special defense falls, but we get a hit. We're finally no longer confused, and we land a Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball does a good amount. So we are now going to go into our own Espeon. Go for the Psychic again. That shouldn't do too much now. That does 45, so that's nothing. We can now Bite away. Goes for the Max Potion. Isn't that just annoying? We get the Bite off, and that does a huge amount. I'm really surprised that it does so much. So if we can get a high roll, yes! High roll, and we take out Will's Espeon with our own Espeon. It's sort of like some lovely karma in there somewhere. So next Pokemon is the Jinx, and we are going to go into Alakazam here, because obviously we have Fire Punch on our Alakazam, which should be able to pulverize this Jinx here. So we're going to Fire Punch. And there we go, sweet. So we nail down the Jinx. Even get a crit hit just for fun. And Alakazam takes out the Jinx. So next is the Alakazam itself. So obviously I would love to be able to say we're just going to go into Girafarig here, but obviously we can't. I could go into Xatu and I could fly because Alakazam has rubbish physical defense. But there is all the chance that he will actually just go for a Reflect. In that case, if he's going to go for Reflect, I'm going to go into Girafarig to start off with, and let's see what happens. Shadow Ball. Goes for the Psychic. Okay, so he just wants to take me out. That's fine. We'll go into Espeon here, and we will bite. I want to see how much this does. That is a great amount. Good lord. Is that a crit? Not even a crit. And your Reflect is not going to help you at all against the Bite, because Bite is special in this gen. So, boom. Down goes the Alakazam. That's really, really good. So, now the last Pokemon is the Hypno. So, we can just stay in here, and we will bite away. And we get the flinch, just even better. So we get 2 bites away, and we get a second flinch. Good lord, Espeon, beautiful. Runs through the Hypno, and there we go. We defeat Will, and we send some of our money to Mum. Even though I was defeated, I won't change my course, so we'll continue battling until I stand above all trainers, blah-de-blah-de-blah. So now we're going to take on Koga, and obviously Koga should be not particularly difficult for us. We would think that Koga, we should be able to run through his team with relative ease. I'm not going to heal up Espeon just yet, because I reckon Espeon, we might bring Espeon in on one of Koga's team. So, he's going to go on about how he's going to talk about Pokemon is not just sheer force, blah 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 blah. So he starts off with his Crobat 66. Is it going to be faster is the question. We really don't want it to be faster. It's not faster, that's awesome. Psychic, I'd love it to be a one-hit KO. Yeah, there we go. Down goes the Crobat. Nice and simple. Okay, so. Good. So, next Pokemon is the Forretress. Ah, you're not going to do much to me, unfortunately, with your Forretress, because we can obviously just Fire Punch. And Forretress is quadruply weak to fire and will go down. Easy peasy. Down goes the Forretress. So, your next Pokemon is the Venomoth. So, I'm going to go into Espeon here, because I reckon Espeon can just as easily take out these guys with Psychic. I can't imagine that these... Obviously it's Bug Poison type. Bug doesn't resist poison, unfortunately, for them, so Psychic does just as much. So it sends out the Muck next. So Muck is tanky. I'm expecting the Psychic to do over half, but not take it out. And it does just that. Goes for the Minimize. And we miss. Goes for the Toxic and misses. We Psychic and we miss. Goes for the Sludge Bomb and connects. So obviously Poison is a physical type. That hurts a lot. We go for the Psychic. We finally connect. Muck goes down. And his final Pokemon is the Ariados. So again, we can just Psychic away. Down goes the Ariados. Koga is done. Easy peasy. So the thing is, obviously, with this Elite Four, is that the first 2 should be tougher. So the first 2 we have struggles with, because the first 2 are obviously Will, who is a psychic, who obviously is psychic, so he resists us, and the last one is Karen, who's dark, who obviously is immune to us. But in the middle, you've got the Poison-type leader, Koga, and you've got the Fighting-type leader, Bruno, who are both very much weak to our powers. So, we're going to bring in Xatu here, because I'd love Xatu to get some levels. And now, obviously, at level 60, he's only just a few away from getting that Psychic, that beautiful Psychic, well, the move Psychic. And then we can have a full stab moves there for our lovely Xatu. So Bruno starts off with the Hitmontop. We are going to just use Fly. Goes for the Swords Dance. I hate Swords Dance. It's so scary. So it goes for the Detect. Are you just going to Detect every time? Yeah, you are. Okay, so what do we do here? We're going to go into... We don't go into Jinx or Giraffe because they're obviously neutral. We're going to go into Espeon, because Espeon's slightly more bulky than Alakazam, and so eats that up. And Psychic is easy one-hit KO. Lovely jubbly. So we could go back into Xatu. Yeah, we will go back into Xatu. I want to see Xatu try and take one of these guys down. Goes for the Swagger, misses, which is great news for us. We land the Fly, and boom, it goes down. Down goes the Hitmonlee. Hopefully the same thing will happen with the Hitmonchan. We're going to use Fly once more. This Hitmonchan has got the Ice Punch, but as we all know, Hitmonchan has rubbish special attack, that is. So as long as it doesn't freeze us, we should be fine. Or it can crit us and do over half, which is really annoying. We'll Nightshade away, though. Obviously, Ghost does hit fighting, which I always think is weird, because Ghost doesn't hit normal. And obviously, normal can't hit Ghost, and fighting can't hit Ghost, but for some reason, the one in between doesn't work. So he's going to go bring out the Poliwrath this time. This time we are going to be a bit more careful. I reckon Poliwrath has a bit more bulk to it. So we're going to go into Espeon and we're going to Psychic it once more. And we should hopefully get a knockout. No, okay, no knockout. Poliwrath goes for the Surf. It's not resisted, but we are specially defensive. So we're going to go for the Hidden Power. The reason we want to go for the Hidden Power there is because if he heals up, then we've already done a decent chunk of damage. And then Psychic should be a one-hit KO. And the final Pokemon is the Machamp. So same thing again, we're just going to go in and we're going to Psychic away. And I'd like to think this should be a one-hit KO, but he is 8 levels above us. So it could resist. Ooh, so close. Goes for the EQ, that's going to take me out, unfortunately. But we obviously have lots of other Pokemon to bring out. We're going to bring in Jinx actually here, because we should be faster. Goes for the max, heals up with the max potion. We have Confusion though, that is not... it's annoying that it's not... Okay, please give me a high roll. Nope, low roll. Or just mid roll. Goes for the Rock Slide, it's not Stab, but Machamp has sky high attack. We live on 11, so... Jinx takes out the Machamp. That was always a risk going into Jinx. Probably an unnecessary one. I shouldn't be playing this riskily. So, we can now heal up. We need to think about also using an Elixir also. Although actually Psychics, obviously, there's no point in healing up any Psychic PP because obviously Psychic is certainly not one of the moves we're going to be using in the next area. So, we've got Karen next, and Karen is obviously the Dark-type trainer, so we have an issue. We need to think long and hard about her team. She's likely to have an Umbreon, and Umbreon's going to be a huge issue, because Umbreon is just bulk. And obviously, without any Psychic stab moves, we're going to be in big trouble. She could have a Tyranitar, and a Houndoom, and both of those are big threats, but both of them get walled by Starmie. And so I think Starmie is certainly a Pokemon we definitely want to keep if those two haven't appeared yet. She could also have a Murkrow or a Sneasel, both of which Alakazam can deal with, and also Jinx. So I'm going to put Jinx here. And also we want Girafarig to stay around, because I reckon Girafarig can actually do decent damage to the... Girafarig can come in on both the Houndoom and the Tyranitar as well as the just as Starmie can. So we're going to lead off here with Xatu. Why? Because if she leads Umbreon, we can Nightshade, and Nightshade is actually going to do a decent amount of damage to it. So hopefully we shall see this Umbreon. This is going to be the hardest battle so far, easily. So we're going to Nightshade. We are faster by quite a set, and that is 60 just there. Goes for the Confuse rate, so it's not going initially for attacks, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Depends if we cut through Confusion. We don't. Goes for the Crunch. That does monstrous amounts of damage to us. Monstrous amounts of damage to us. We'd sort of expect that. I'd so love... We have had no luck with Confusion this episode. I'm telling you right now, we have had no luck with Confusion. Okay, so now we can bring in the Espeon. The issue with for Espeon is obviously the only thing we have that does damage is Hidden Power Dragon, and that's not going to do much at all. No, that does nothing. So in comes the Crunch. Crunch does just over half. That's really annoying. We get off another Crunch and we take it down to about, I'd probably say that was about 40%. So, now what do we do? What do we do? We could go into Giraffe, and we could Strength, which is Stab. We could go into Jinx, and we could Ice Punch. I'm just thinking about it. I think Jinx is our least necessary of these guys. Jinx gets walled by both Tyranitar and Houndoom, gets completely destroyed by them. Obviously has the big advantage of the over any Murkrow, for example. But even against, say, a Sneasel, it doesn't have any advantage. So, just thinking about that, I'm going to bring in the Jinx here, and we're going to go for Ice Punch. Ice Punch is a 2-hit KO from this range. Umbreon Crunch is, unfortunately, a 2-hit KO on us, which kind of sucks. But there we go. We take out the Umbreon, which is really, really good for us. We're going to now see what else she has. She brings in the Tyranitar now, so we definitely swap immediately into our Starmie, and we are going to Surf. And we are going to see if we can see how much this Tyranitar is going to do to us. That's really, really good defense from the Tyranitar. And here comes the Crunch. That is not going to take us out by... Oh, good lord. It's like, when you survive by that much, that's sort of just like... If I hadn't have grinded up to level 60, if I'd been at level 59, maybe we wouldn't have survived that. Brilliant. Okay. So we take out the Tyranitar. Even still, I think Earthquake from that distance might have taken it out from Giraffe. Okay, so our next Pokemon is the Murkrow. So we're going to go back into Jinx here. Just because the reason we want Jinx and not Alakazam is because obviously Ice Punch is Stab and Thunder Punch is not. So we Ice Punch the Murkrow, we'll see it go down! Lovely! So obviously it's not evolved yet, so it hasn't evolved into a Honchkrow. Because it can't evolve into a Honchkrow in this gen. Next Pokemon is the Houndoom. So, we go back into Starmie, we should be faster, but now I see that it's level 70, and now I'm scared. We are faster. Ooh, okay, so Surf, this should do huge amounts. Ooh, that's so close to taking it out, and down goes the Starmie. Okay, so now we bring in the Giraffe. I would expect healing? Yeah, so she goes for the max potion. Okay, that's fine, actually, because we can now Earthquake. And Earthquake is going to do over half, which is awesome. So that's all we needed it to do. We needed it to do over half. In comes the Crunch. We expect to live this, but not by much. No, we go down. Is it a crit? No, it's not a crit. Okay, so we do not survive. And that puts us in a bit of a sticky situation. We're going to go into Alakazam. So we can't Reflect, obviously. We could Thunder Punch if we expect that we can survive 2. The issue is that if we don't survive 2, we've got to go into Jinx. And Jinx can't take anything. Oh, this is tough now. This is tough now. Let's have a think. She has 2 Pokemon left. This Houndoom and whatever is left. If it's a Sneasel, we want Alakazam around. Oh, God. I want a Thunder Punch. I want a Thunder Punch so much, but if it doesn't do half, we are so screwed. Because well, maybe Ice Punch would take it out, but it's resisted. Thunder Punch. Come on, do over half from there, do over half from there. Yes! Okay, okay, we should be fine, we should be fine. If we can live this Crunch, which I think we should. I think we should. I thought we should, but we can't. And we are now very much in trouble. Because I'm not sure that we can live. I'm not sure Ice Punch takes out from that range. So, what do we do? What do we do? We go back into Alakazam, because Alakazam is our fastest Pokemon. We know Thunder Punch finishes from this range. If you'd missed the Fire Blast, that would have been so beautiful. Don't have priority, and we Thunder Punch. Yes, okay, so the Houndoom goes down, and now we just need to see what's left. What is left? Oh boy, okay. Told you this was going to be the difficult battle. We obviously have, Vileplume. Oh, you were hoping you wouldn't have to come down to this, because Vileplume should go down to a single Psychic. Should go down to a single Psychic. If it doesn't, I will be so sad. Yes! Yes! Okay, so that is Karen done. And now all we need to do is finish off Lance. And Lance, in comparison to Karen, shouldn't be a trouble. So, well, aren't you good? I like that in a trainer, she says. So, we're going to zip through Karen's speech, and we can now, obviously, heal up everyone. Especially Jinx. Because Jinx is going to be the one that's going to just waltz through this one, I reckon. See, I have no more revives. I'm pretty glad I had enough revives. I'm going to have just enough hyper potions as well. Okay, so Lance. Okay, so Lance, we put Jinx at the front for obvious reasons. Okay, here we go, Lance. So, I've been waiting for you, Mark. I knew that you, with your skills, would eventually reach me here. There's no need for words now. We will battle to determine who is the stronger of the two of us. As the most powerful trainer, and as the Pokemon League champion, I, Lance, the Dragon Master, accept your challenge. So we're going to raise the volume of the music because this one's awesome, and we're going to see what he sends out, and he sends out a Gyarados. Probably the worst Pokemon he could have sent out. Well, not the worst, obviously, but not a great Pokemon for us, because obviously we do not resist. Sorry, we are not super effective against Gyarados. So, I am going to swap out, and we've essentially got to think of this as Death Fodder. So I'm going to swap out into Xatu, because I don't see Xatu actually performing too much work in this battle. Goes for the Hyper Beam, so this will probably take us out, because... No! Wow! We ate that up! I could trigger Sunny Day here. I am going to trigger Sunny Day here. And it must recharge, obviously. And now what we're going to do is we're going to Solar Beam. Solar Beam, okay, so that doesn't do so much. Goes for the Ice Beam now, so actually, obviously had different moves. Obviously, he was just going for the Hyper Beam because it was, obviously Ice Beam wouldn't work on Jinx. But anyway, the reason we really wanted Xatu to go down there, unfortunately, we sort of let Xatu go down there. The reason, though, is the Thunder Punch here from Alakazam will just destroy this Gyarados. And now, okay, so, Jinx grows to level 61, Alakazam gains a load of shot, and now in comes the first Dragonite. So I'm expecting many Dragonites. So level 71, we are level 61. We outspeed, Ice Punch should be... I'd be very surprised if it isn't a one-hit KO, and it is. Easy peasy. Next Pokemon is the Dragonite. Again, we're just going to do exactly the same thing. Ice Punch. Boom. Down goes the Dragonite. Who needs Blizzard when Ice Punch takes out these Dragonites in one hit? So, next Pokemon is the Aerodactyl. So, I am going to go into Starmie, because, obviously, nothing is 4 times effective against Aerodactyl, I don't think. And the sunlight just fades, which is really nice, because that means our water moves are back to the start. I had not thought of that, but that is true. Goes to the Rock Slide, is faster. Wow. I forget how fast Alakazam is. Sorry, Alakazam, Aerodactyl. I forget how fast it is. So Surfer's going to come in and hopefully pick up the knockout. You are kidding me. Well, we're going to go for Swift, because I think anything... I think a flick to the nose would take out the... You are kidding me. Oh my god. Okay, Rock Slide miss. Rock Slide miss. Nope. Okay. Well, Giraffrig, you can take a hit, can't you? You can take a hit. You're just going to crunch. You're just going to strength. No, you can't. Oh, a crit hit. Of course you get a crit. Thank you. But strength. Giraffrig lives on 8 after a crit Rock Slide from an Aerodactyl. Beautiful. And his next Pokemon is a Kingdra. Okay, so we're going to go into Espeon here. And we are going to Hidden Power, because we have Hidden Power Dragon, and this Kingdra is not going to like Hidden Power Dragon. It's the only thing that is super effective against Kingdras. is a dragon type move. So we hit the hidden power once, we hit the hidden power twice, goes for the hydro pump and misses, so all that luck that you had earlier with the flinch and not missing any rock slides comes to bite you, missing the hydro pump. That's why I have Surf. That's why I have Surf, even though it doesn't kill Aerodactyls, obviously. His final Pokemon is his Dragonite, and it's level 73, but Ice Punch will finish off this Dragonite. I'm hoping. If it doesn't, that will be like the biggest gap between a level 71 and 73 Dragonite. Nope, down goes the Dragonite, and we have defeated the Elite Four and Lance. Beautiful. Our Psychic Pokemon are strong enough. Champion Lance was defeated. It's over. But it's an odd feeling. I'm not angry that I lost. In fact, I feel happy. Happy that I witnessed the rise of a great new champion. We get a nice big chunk of money. And we're going to get loads and loads of chatting about like Mary and Professor Oak appear and blah blah blah. He just talks about our conquest of the league. We've already been through all this. And obviously we haven't done the interview. But anyway, so now we are going to arrive in... we seem to be slightly out of sync, because obviously we should be facing each other. But anyway, Lance says, "It has been a long time since I last came here. This is where we honour the League Champions for all eternity. Their courageous Pokemon are also inducted. Here today we witness the rise of a new League Champion, a trainer who feels compassion and full trust towards all Pokemon. A trainer who succeeded through perseverance and determination, the new League Champion, who has all the makings of greatness. Mark, allow me to register you and your partners as champions." So we are suddenly superimposed over Lance, and unfortunately, just a little glitch here with obviously the Pokeballs not aligned. But we are going to see our team be inducted into the Hall of Fame. We have our Jinx, Ice Psychic type at level 61. We have our Espeon, Pure Psychic type at also level 61. We have our Girafarig, Normal Psychic at level 60. We have our Xatu, level 60 and a Flying Psychic type. We have our Starmie, Water Psychic. I'm so glad that you managed to survive all this way. Nicknamed Stara, level 60. And finally, we have our Alakazam, Pure Psychic type, level 61. All the work, putting in all the work. We win! With the playtime, apparently 40 hours, 44, obviously not that. We've seen 220 Pokemon, but we only own 18. So Professor Oak's Pokedex rating, you understand how to use Pokeballs is apparently what he thinks of us. And so the credits are going to roll, and this has been a great, obviously, you know, this isn't the end. We still have Kanto to do. And yeah, no, it's been really good to just to keep playing on, and just to run through this. This has been a really nice team to work with. Quite difficult because obviously they're all pretty frail. They're all quite frail Pokemon in general, and so you've really got to be sort of aware. And for once, I think the type I've chosen has actually had a real disadvantage in the Elite Four. At least certainly with obviously facing Karen and her dark types. We certainly had a huge disadvantage there. So I don't think even... Yeah, because like in our first two types we did... I suppose our flying type, Monotype, we had Lorelei and her ice types, and that was potential for trouble there, and we got through that. But yeah, aside from that, I can't really think, because obviously our water type we don't have anything because there's no electric or grass type. I don't think there's ever been an electric or a grass type member of an Elite Four. Obviously, it's because water is just so powerful. And what was our other type? Why can't I remember? A ground. Yeah, and ground doesn't actually have any weaknesses in the Elite Four because Psychic isn't weak to it. So Psychic isn't strong against it. Poison, we got the big advantage over Poison. No real difference with fighting, and nothing for Dark as well. So yeah, I think having the Dark type trainer in the Elite Four really did actually make this Monotype obviously a lot tougher. which is really good. So I hope you will join me on the next episode where we will start running through Kanto and start destroying Wrecking Shop over there. It should be good fun. And then we will obviously be building up to our finale where we will take on the all-round champion Red and see how we fare against his team, which will most likely be all level 100s. Most likely. We shall see. But I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I hope you will join me on the next.